So, who's the top 10 of 2001 in the WWF, WCW, and ECW? At number 10, Rob Van Dam. Easily the most popular star to break out of the Alliance. He became the first Alliance member to pick up WWF gold when he beat Jeff Hardy at Invasion to win the Hardcore title. He picked up another win over Jeff at SummerSlam in a ladder match and successfully defend his Hardcore title against Chris Jericho at Unforgiven. He also quickly climbed the ranks and headlined not one, but two pay-per-views this year, proving why he's the whole damn show. This is RVD's second appearance in the top 10. His last was back in 1999 when he ranked in at number 1. At number 9, Undertaker. In the war between WWF and the Alliance, nobody was waving the banner for the WWF harder than the Undertaker. With his brother Kane, they held both the WWF and WCW tag titles. Together, they defeated Diamond Dallas Page and Chris Kanyon inside a steel cage. They would mow down Chronic, and he would beat Booker T in singles action. After the war was over, Taker's attitude changed, and he became more aggressive. At Vengeance, he would beat Rob Van Dam for the Hardcore title. This is Taker's fourth appearance in the top 10, his last being back in 1996. At number 8, Trish Stratus. She may have started the year off as a manager and Mr. McMahon's squeeze, but by the year's end, she was the woman's champion. At Invasion, her and Lita took out Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler in a Brawl and Panties match. And then at Survivor Series, Trish defeated Ivory, Jazz, Mighty Molly, Jacqueline, and Lita in a six-pack challenge to be crowned the new woman's champion. She ended the year out by defending her title against Jacqueline in a brutal, hard-hitting match. At number 7, Rhino. Aside from Rob Van Dam, Rhino was a huge breakout star in the Alliance. He started the year beating the Sandman in the last ECW pay-per-view for the world title. In fact, when ECW closed down, Rhino was the last ECW world and TV champion. When he entered the WWF, he quickly captured a Hardcore title and had a lengthy title run. He joined the Alliance, and at Invasion, he and Team Alliance defeated Team WWF in the main event. At Unforgiven, he defeated Tajiri to win the US title. Pretty solid year for the Man-Beast. At number 6, Scott Steiner. The only person on this top 10 not to make the jump to the WWF this year. For the brief 3 months that WCW was in business before the buyout, Scott Steiner was just dominant. As the world champion, he successfully defended it at each pay-per-view, making him undefeated on pay-per-view. At Sin, he beat Sid Vicious and Jeff Jarrett and Animal in a fatal 4-way. At Super Brawl Revenge, he defeated Kevin Nash in a best 2 out of 3 falls, no DQ retirement match. And in his final match, he beat DDP in a no DQ match. This is Scott's 6th appearance in the top 10. He only dropped 1 spot from last year. At number 5, Stone Cold. What a roller coaster ride Stone Cold had this year. He would start the year off winning the Royal Rumble, but at WrestleMania, he would shock the world when he showed he would do anything to win the world title and side with Vince McMahon to screw The Rock out of his title. Shortly afterwards, he would form the 2-man power trip with former rival Triple H and would win the tag titles, becoming a double champion in the process. He would then have back-to-back successful title defenses, beating The Undertaker in a no DQ match at Judgment Day and beating Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho in a triple threat match at the King of the Ring. But his most shocking defection would be at Invasion when he turned his back on the WWF and joined the Alliance. Austin would go on to beat Kurt Angle and Rob Van Dam in a triple threat match at No Mercy, and The Rock again at Rebellion. Pretty solid list of wins for the Rattlesnake. This is his 5th appearance in the top 10. His last appearance was back in 1998. At number 4, Edge. This was the breakout year for Edge as a single star. First, he and his brother Christian won TLC 2 and the tag titles at WrestleMania over the Dudleys and the Hardys. But his big moment would come at King of the Ring when he would beat both Rhino and Kurt Angle to become the 2001 King of the Ring. Then Edge would beat Lance Storm to become the Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam. However, out of jealousy, Christian would turn his back on Edge and join the Alliance. They would trade the IC title, with Edge beating Christian in back-to-back pay-per-view wins, first beating Christian in a ladder match at No Mercy, and then in a cage match at Rebellion. Edge would win the US title and unify it with the IC title at Survivor Series with a win over Test. Then he would end the year out with a win over William Regal at Vengeance. This is Edge's second top 10 appearance. He's up 5 spots from last year. At number 3, Jericho. The year Y2J became a main eventer. First, he had an epic ladder match for the Intercontinental title with Chris Benoit at the Royal Rumble. He would then successfully defend his title in a fatal 4-way against Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and X-Pac. Next, he would feud with the Commissioner William Regal, beating him at WrestleMania and at Insurrection for the Queen's Cup. But his defining moment came when he defeated The Rock to become the WCW World Champion. Then he would further cement his legacy by beating both The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night, unifying the WWF and WCW World Championships to become the first ever undisputed World Champion. This is Chris Jericho's second appearance in the top 10. His last was back in '98. At number 2, Bubba Ray. There was no other team in the year 2001 that was as dominant as the Dudley Boys, the first tag team in the history of wrestling to win the WWF, WCW, and ECW tag titles. Let's just review their year of dominance. They defeated Edge and Christian to win the tag titles, defeated the Brothers of Destruction and Edge and Christian in a triple threat tables match. In the main event at Invasion, as part of the Team Alliance, they defeated Team WWF, defeated 3 other teams in a 4-way elimination match, and finally unified the WWF and WCW titles in a cage match with the Hardys. Determining who got number 1 and number 2 was just random. They truly are equals in this tag team. So at number 1, Devon. See number 2. And that is your top 10 of 2001.